The history of Cardano is replete with mysteries going back even before the stuffed bird incident. Speculating about these mysteries, especially the wild and baseless variety of speculation, is essentially a Cardano national pastime at this point. Whether the existence of these mysteries is good or bad for the development of the ecosystem, I'll leave that for you to decide. But in the meantime, we've got a couple of small DEX mysteries we can examine. Ready? Let's go. We are going to discuss a SundaeSwap mystery and a MuesliSwap mystery. These aren't gigantic mysteries, but there are some little mysteries. We'll also talk about a celebrity apparently investing in a Cardano project, the U.S. National Security Council's viewpoint on crypto and Russian sanction evasion, which I believe will probably become some type of spectator sport soon, and a new type of media out of the Pavia project. Just a quick reminder, whether any of these Cardano mysteries are solved this month or not. If you think these videos bring you value every weekday, we would welcome your delegation to the Army of Spies Stakepool, ticker AOS. In all the hustle and bustle of the ISO and then the reverse ISO, and then collecting the ISO tokens from drip drops and wondering when the reverse ISO tokens will be distributed. With all of that going on, I think a lot of people might have missed this in the SundaeSwap Discord. So here we have a question. What are the devs working on? Improvements to the GUI, rewards analytics for the liquidity providers? What is going on? Martin responded, exotic pairs, governance, liquidity provider analytics, and a secret with a lock and key emoji. And he said, secret one is going to blow socks off, to say the least. The same person said when. Martin said about a month. So I think the first three items are pretty predictable. Are they going to have more pairs? Yes. Are some of them going to be exotic? Yes. Is there going to be governance? Yes. Will there be more analytics for probably a lot of different things, including LPing? Yes. But what is the secret? I mean, they're pretty transparent about everything else, but this piece is a secret. Is it a secret because they aren't allowed to tell us, or they just think it's awesome and they want to surprise us with it? I personally have no idea what this is. Based on the timeline, I guess we can guess that we might find out the end of March, beginning of April, about a month from when he made that post. But let me know down in the comments what you think this might be. The things that kind of jump to mind for me are maybe something to do with NFTs, maybe some kind of NFT marketplace component, maybe single. There are also a couple of minor mysteries circulating around MuesliSwap right now. MuesliSwap is interesting with the mysteries around their camp because they give us literally nothing. They give us almost zero hints as to the resolution of these kinds of mysteries. It seems like a lot of other projects, they kind of follow the path of Charles with, stuffed birds and uh, books that give us a few little hints, but MuesliSwap gives us very little. They give us very little hint as to what these mysteries might be all about. So there's a couple of them. The first one, and these are all pretty minor, but they're interesting. The first one has to do with the snow token. So they say on November 26th, 2021, MuesliSwap launched as the first DEX on Cardano mainnet. The same day, Switzerland saw its first snow. To celebrate the launch and the first snow of the year, we created Snow, a limited amount of special snow globes. So no real mystery here so far. This is great. It's like a commemorative coin, nice little thing they did for the people in their community. They talk a little bit about snow, the supply, all those kinds of things. It's a milestone in the history, resembles a milestone in the history of Cardano DeFi, frozen in time. As a holder of the Snow token, you share this moment with us. But then they create a little mystery. They say, are there future benefits for Snow holders, you ask? We will see. Snow globes are no crystal balls, so stay tuned for what's to come. So we don't talk about price very much on this channel, but I believe that this little hint here about the possibility of future benefits for Snow holders has had an impact on the market for these Snow tokens. And the Snow tokens are pretty prominent among the milk staking pools. Maybe the more interesting mystery around MuesliSwap right now has to do with additional utility for the milk tokens. So this article right here that came out on the 28th already answered some of the questions about what milk staking was going to be like. Was it going to be something interesting, or was it just going to be a bunch of lame meme tokens that wouldn't really have that much value? And we got that answer in the form of this article and the milk staking pools. But at the end of this article is something else that's very interesting. We've talked about it a little bit before. They say, we are starting with a few selected pools, including Flick2, Gokey, and Snow. Moreover, we're planning to add many more pools to our milk staking platform. Okay, interesting. Where will the tokens come from for those pools? Will projects that launch listings on MuesliSwap, will they just contribute some coins to these pools? That could be very interesting. But this part is more interesting. One of the things we are more than proud of is going to be the new feature, Stake Milk, Earn NFTs. Together with some of our partners, we'll bring some exciting NFT projects to milk holders. So this could be a lot of different things. Again, it all depends on how good the particular tokens are with any of these things, and specifically here with how good the NFTs are. You could easily come up with whatever number of NFT series you want to, and if they suck, nobody's going to care. But if they're great, if they're awesome, they might actually have some value. So what is this going to look like? Are we going to stake our milk in a pool, and then whenever an NFT series launches on the marketplace, will some of those NFTs be distributed out to the stakers in the pool? If so, how does that work? I mean, would every staker get one over X time period? We probably don't want fractional NFTs. We've talked about the idea of fractional NFTs before on this channel, but we probably don't want that here. We'd probably just prefer to get whole NFTs. So how's the staking going to work? Is it going to be like one NFT if you stay staked in the pool for 1 week, or how exactly is this going to work? And what caliber of NFT projects are we talking about here? Because again, I think at this point, everybody in the Cardano ecosystem and every crypto ecosystem probably realizes that you can easily outsource our But this doesn't even conclude all of the MuesliSwap mysteries. We've also always had this page in the MuesliSwap docs. And in this page, there's a rundown, a summary of all of the utilities of the MuesliSwap token. They, of course, list trading, access to exclusive exchange features, the NFT marketplace, and the aforementioned access to Exclusi. Are you excited for Exclusi? I'm pretty excited to find out about Exclusi. Voting, vote on community proposals, staking, participate in the milk pools and earn some milky rewards. So we kind of know about all those, exclusive exchange features sounds great. But what about this one? Early access. Get early access to MuesliPad, the innovative launch pad from MuesliSwap. We don't know anything yet about this innovative launchpad and what will this early access entail. Again, I mean, the devil is in the details. Are these going to be awesome projects that we actually want early access to, or is it going to be some lame stuff? Given how tight-lipped MuesliSwap is, I actually respect their ability to not leak information. But given how tight-lipped they are, we probably won't find out about this until the actual launch of the MuesliPad launchpad. So this will be kind of interesting. I'm interested to see if this is really worthwhile or if it's something that people aren't as interested in. In a news item that does not seem so mysterious, it looks like Gadot has invested into a Cardano DEX. I love the way they title articles like this. They make it sound like the news is how much this DEX raised, which is 2.6 million, not a gigantic amount by crypto standards. And they're just sort of throwing in this small detail that this pretty gigantic celebrity is involved. And they have a huge picture of her. But it and there's if you from a Cardano perspective, you read this article, you're going to raise your eyebrow a few times at sentences like this. The first Cardano DEX raised 2.6 million. I think all of us in Cardano know that MuesliSwap was in fact the first Cardano DEX. We did get some kind of a nice little quote here. It says, in line with the announcement of the funding, Gal Gadot and Jaron Barsano, I don't know who that is. Maybe people who know about celebrities will know if this is someone involved with her. But the two of them said in joint statement, this is an exciting investment opportunity for us in the crypto space. So whatever their motivation for investing in this DEX, which is one I don't even think I've heard of, AdaSwap. Maybe some of you know about this one, but I don't think I've ever even heard of it. And maybe that's because there is so much of this type of money going into it. They say leading the round were multiple investment firms and an angel investor, such as iAngel, Shima Capital, Pluto Digital, GBV, Stardust, Efficient Frontier, Finova, Banter Capital, and Coty. I actually, it's only 2.6 million, so this is not a gigantic amount of money. But, whatever their motivation for investing in this project, I think this is a great sign when we have, I don't think there's necessarily any inherent value in celebrities investing in Cardano projects or being interested in Cardano projects, but I think a lot of people perceive that as being some kind of indices of value. So this is probably a good thing for the Cardano ecosystem. Here's something that all of us in Cardano probably thought about the second that the Russia sanctions came down. This is a post from Hannah Lang, who is covering fintech for Reuters. She says, at a webinar this morning, the National Security Council's Director of Cybersecurity, Carol House, says the scale that Russia would need to circumvent all financial sanctions, quote, would almost certainly render cryptocurrency as an ineffective primary tool for the state. Until the drip drop Sunday token distribution the other day, we couldn't handle, larger NFT drops in Cardano, and it's not really that different on a lot of other blockchains. All of crypto together, can't handle, all of the big blockchains together can only handle so many gigantic NFT drops on the same day. There's no way we could handle all of Russia's energy exports or even all of their agricultural exports, or probably even some tiny niche manufacturing they do, all of those exports. And, they don't just export things, they also import things into Russia. Apparently, the National Security Council is not at all worried about this because they're actually aware that crypto couldn't handle the volume of a nation state, even the size of Russia. Will politicians still use this as a talking point to try to regulate crypto? For sure they will. But it's kind of comforting to know that the National Security Council realizes that crypto is not going to be the tool by which Russia evades sanctions. Finally, Pavia dropped this tweet. Our boardroom is being taken over today to film the first of many Pavia.io podcasts. We're aiming to have this pilot edition edited by Friday this week. Hashtag Cardano, hashtag Metaverse, hashtag podcast. I actually really applaud this. I think it's easy to forget that we actually have a lot of shared experiences in Cardano. We have a lot of history together, our community. We never really talk about this, but we have these events we all lived through: the stuffed bird mystery, the Africa announcement, all the hard fork combinator events, Alonzo and the Cardano 2021 summit, the launch of SundaeSwap, the launch of MuesliSwap out of the blue, all of the ISOs, all of the discussion and controversy about centralization. There were all these things, and we all kind of lived through them together. Sure, there are newer people. There are people probably who joined this week who, started learning about Cardano this week, but they'll also go through these future types of events with us. And all of us who've been here for a while, we all shared these events in common, going clear back to 2017. A lot of us watched the Cardano price plummet to numbers that would strike fear into the hearts of Cardano traders today, and then come all the way back up to the crazy peak we saw last year. These are all events we lived through together. And I think long form is the way that Cardano projects can tap into that a little bit. They can add to that history we all have together by telling us exactly what they've got in their minds. And Twitter is great, but you can only communicate so much. And there's some beauty to that. Brevity is golden for sure. This very concise form of communication is great because none of us have as much time as we want. But long form can do things that Twitter cannot. I think every project should start doing a weekly podcast. I think the AMA type presentations are great too. And when projects do their weekly community call and it's kind of a Twitter space, I think that's great too. But I would love it if every project would just get the founders together, or whoever they think is the most important, but probably the founders. Get the founders together once a week, let them sit down and talk for 2 hours. Just do it once a week. Like, no matter how, I know the people running projects, especially in Cardano, especially right now, are very busy and don't really have 2 hours for anything. But I think this would be worth it if they would spend 2 hours just telling the community what they think, what they see for the future of their project in Cardano, what they want to contribute to Cardano, what they're going to bring to the table for the potential users of their projects, and the people involved in their projects through all the different things around governance. If they would just sit down and talk about those things for an hour per week, 2 hours per week, 3 hours per week, just one podcast per week, I think it'd be valuable. And I think it'd be better than these sort of very scripted community calls we sometimes get. If you just stuck the founders together and let us listen to them talk, that would probably give us more transparency and tell us more about the project, and honestly create more affinity for the project from the community than they would with all of the kind of like heavily scripted, community call presentations followed by, AMA that they might currently be trying to do. I hope everybody's having a great week, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.